The afternoon sun rests gently over the neighborhood as Ip Man walks beside his young son. School has just ended, and the streets are filled with children heading home. For a moment, it's an ordinary day, simple, peaceful, and quiet. As the two turn onto the street leading to the schoolyard, that calm changes. American developer Frank wants the school's land for redevelopment and hires local gangsters, led by Ma King-sang, to force out the teachers and students. The headmaster stands firm behind his desk, hands clenched, determined but visibly shaken. Ma King-sang's presence fills the room like a storm. His men circle around the headmaster, closing in. Ma leans in close, whispering coldly, "Everyone has a price, even schools." Ma raises the redevelopment documents with a smug smile. He taps the papers against the headmaster's chest, slow, deliberate. Ma King-sang grabs the headmaster by the collar, yanking him forward. The headmaster refuses to look at them. Ma King-sang grabs the headmaster's arm, twisting it behind his back, trying to force him toward the contract. The room fills with the sounds of struggle, the thud of fists, the scrape of shoes on the wooden floor. Ip Man seeks help from Sergeant Po, called Fat Po by his friends, a close friend of his and a local police detective. Fat Po agrees to help Ip Man, but claims a shortage of manpower and influence. Ip Man interferes and restrains Ma, but is forced to let Ma go as Ma's men are holding Miss Wang at knife point. Morning arrives as Ip Man walks with the other parents, each guiding their children toward the school. But when they reach the front gate, they found the school is locked. A thick chain and padlock wrap around the gate, clearly put there overnight. Parents murmur anxiously while the children cling close, unsure what's happening. Ip Man steps forward, studying the chain. The fresh boot prints tell him exactly who did this. Ma's men. A message meant to scare them off. Leek and Miss Wang grips the lock and snaps it open with one firm pull. The gate swings wide. Behind, Ip Man, parents and teachers whispers in shock. Some hesitate. Some look ready to turn around. As the parents begin to enter, Ma's men stand at the far end of the street, watching. One of them smirks, realizing their attempt to block the school has failed. Ip Man notices them immediately. He turns to Leek, his oldest student. "Leek," he says quietly but firmly, "gather some of the men. We'll guard the school." Leek nods and runs off, while the parents and children continue inside, refusing to be intimidated. The school will go on, and Ip Man will make sure of it. Ip Man then agrees to guard the school alongside his students. That night, Ip Ma and his students watch the school compound. Leek, Ip's oldest student, develops a crush on Miss Wang, but the latter promptly rejects his advances. The night had fallen over the school, and the courtyard was quiet under the dim glow of lanterns. Leek and Miss Wang stood near the gate, keeping watch as Ip Man observed them from a short distance. The two were talking in low voices, exchanging observations about the school's defenses and discussing strategy, though Leek's earnestness sometimes made the conversation unintentionally amusing. Miss Wang remained composed, explaining her ideas with a seriousness that only made Leek's over-the-top eagerness stand out even more. Leek nodded earnestly at every word, clearly determined to impress, while Ip Man's sharp eyes caught every subtle gesture. There was a subtle humor in the scene. Leek's enthusiasm and occasional over-explanations contrasted sharply with Miss Wang's calm, collected demeanor. And though neither of them realized it, Ip Man watched with quiet amusement, knowing that the real challenge wouldn't be guarding the school tonight, it would be keeping Leek focused when the real trouble arrived.
早点回去休息吧。我想今晚应该没。
Just then, the quiet of the night was shattered. Shadows moved across the courtyard as Ma Kingsang and his men burst into the school compound. The gates, which had been secured only hours before, were forced open with brute strength, and the intruders poured in, shouting and brandishing weapons. ，Although Ip Man and his students are able to hold them at bay, they are still outnumbered as the gang manages to kidnap the headmaster and set fire to a few classrooms.
行不行啊？
行，但不一定能送你回家了。
上去。
好。
Chung, who happens to pass by, helps fight off the invaders and rescues the headmaster. Chung Tin-chi's skills impress Ip, and Ip thanks Chung Tin-chi for his help.
兄弟们，走！
想不到这些混蛋如此猖狂。
师兄，你们都检查过了，火已经灭了。
看清楚啊，别留下火
还好刚才有叶师傅和他徒弟在。
不客气。
种。
好，
哎，你再上去看看。好。火都已经灭了，但课桌椅都烧毁了。
怎么烧成这样？
不客气。
校长，你怎么样？
哦，我没事。
不客气。幸好刚才有你帮忙。
张先生，
见识了叶师傅的咏春，名不虚传。我路过而已。刚才终于亲眼，没别的事，我干活了。
虚名而已。